you imagine in, what was it, 2017, 2018, as a brand, we had all this deep thinking around what we wanted to represent, the stories we wanted to inspire, the lifestyles we wanted to inspire. But we really, at that point, didn't know how to tell stories ourselves. And so we reached out to a few, what we saw as great storytellers in the world, and Ben was one of them. And the brand that you see today and the way our brand manifested in 2018 when we first revealed our products, and as we then started to really come into our own, Ben was such a critical part of helping us form that story, say hello to the world, so to speak. We're at a point in history where it's really easy to become overwhelmed with the challenges, but it's also really important we get excited by the fact that at this moment in time, how lucky are we? The entirety of the way we run our planet, the way we power our planet, our generation, the folks in this room and the folks across the planet are going to help and need to help shift the way we run our society. Never before have we needed incredible storytelling to help us get through some of these big challenges. And this is, I know you're passionate about this, we both are. We think about these kinds of things all the time, but how have you approached that in the past? How have you take really dense, hard topics and distill them into, whether it's on a screen, whether it's in a photograph, whether it's in a book?
I think at the root of it all, it's, we can affect change. It always starts at your community level. It's like doing it in your own backyard and the people that you have a direct contact with. That's the number one, way we can cause change. But in storytelling, and that's the bigger picture where you can see a message like have ripple effects out. And when I made that film, when I wrote the book, I was like, if I could just help one person go through something challenging, it'll all be worth it. And if you can just change one person's mind, that just kind of keeps rippling out.
There's a lot of things that almost feel magical. Brand is one of those things, how brands form, how they move people. I think cultures of teams or organizations, there's an element of magic where it's hard to put together the sort of exact breadcrumbs of how you create a feeling or an emotion around a brand, a culture. In the studio, the decisions we make always ladder up to, does it inform and drive the brand? And when we say the brand, we talk about it in terms of creating a point of inspiration. And so when we say stay adventurous or keep the world adventurous forever, these are words we really think about as we tell stories with our products, as we tell stories with our brand. You've had the chance to see so many different stories through so many different cultures, so many different active lifestyles. There's a picture of you and Alex Honnold, some of the most incredible adventurous minds in the world, and you've also worked with some of the most creative and technically strong people in the world. What would you say as a point of inspiration to end our session here on?
What came to mind really is two things. One is a lot of brands like to talk about the pinnacle moments and the aspirational and kind of make almost unattainable things seem possible. And I think it's having something that can help deliver you to the spot you want to go and something that's a vehicle to inspire that sort of change. I think, being relatable and not just this is only for the elite athletes. Because when I got sick, I stopped thinking about chasing down the best athletes in the world. And I really cared about stories and the human connections because that's what sustained me through all of that. Telling relatable stories is everything, but also it's attention to detail. And one thing I've noticed when people ask me what I thought of my first year with the R1T or whatever, and that was like the attention to detail and like having a design team and storytellers that care about that final detail and just, making sure you just have that gut check of like, is this really ready to put out there? And that's
And I think the way you've told stories, I always come away seeing that we can do more than we think we can do. We can get through harder things than we think we can. So whether it's at the highest level of converting our entire electric grid to renewable energy or surviving cancer, we have capabilities well beyond what we often know we can do. So thanks, Ben.
Thank you.